Hello, welcome to today's loop a day, where we're going to be making a brand new loop in Cadence. And if you've been following us at all, you'll know we'll be doing that every single day until Cadence releases on Steam Early Access this September. So yesterday I told you about my game Error Prone, which worked in collaboration with Mark Backler, and was this really neat little self-driving parable about self-driving cars and humans, and how humans are really error prone, hence what the name. And it was really cool. Yesterday it got picked up by Wired, and today that got continued. It got picked up by Engadget, and the whole experience has been a little bit trippy and a little bit surreal. I mean, it's got a ton of views. It had like over 750,000 views on Imgur. The game itself is probably close to 200,000 hits, and it's really crazy having this instance of success when there's this other thing that I'm working really hard on, which is Cadence. And I was kind of, bemused to sort of be a little bit internet famous, and realizing how that doesn't really necessarily translate to the thing that I actually want people to pay attention to. Nevertheless, it's been fun, bit of a distraction, and it's kind of nice to feel a little bit successful, I guess. But at the same time, Cadence is progressing really nicely, and I'm starting to really feel like we're on to something special. But there's only 1 week of Stugan left, and that's quite intimidating because there's still so much that we want to do with the game, and it's really the sort of my last chance to work on it properly and get some really good consistent time on it before we start the PR machine spinning for our actual launch date. So one of the things that I'm working on, that I've kind of mentioned a few times, is this grid editor, and right now there's still absolutely nothing to show you. That's how most programming works. It's you have to very often do things in the background to get the things that you can actually see and interact with and understand working in the foreground. And right now I'm working on those background things, and I'm making progress, but it's not quite there. However, I think that once this is in the game, it's going to be that's going to be the thing that Cadence is all about. So right now, because that's not there yet, I'm just going to make something super quickly. The previous 2 days I've been playing with these really slow, mellow tracks, making something very ambient. Whereas today I'm gonna sort of just go in a completely the opposite direction, try and make something a bit more badass, try and sort of make something a bit, kind of like a driving bass line, driving synth line. Right now in the game, there's not really that much control, so I'm just going to kind of throw a few things out there and see what comes back. All right, starting. Let's pick a key, a random one, E flat. Why not? Let's go minor. And let's pick a new tempo today. So I'm gonna do like a double time tempo, and let's go something nice and pacey. Now I'm just gonna create a bunch of nodes. So a lot of times when I'm creating these nodes, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create them in groups of 4, just because a 4-beat bar is kind of very, it's a mainstay of pretty much all popular music. So by creating things that are in groups of 4, you're actually creating something that sounds a bit familiar to the user, or to the listener rather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and then I'm going to make this one directional so that we don't collide into ourselves. And let's see what's happening there. Alright, so that's a little bit all over the place. I'm actually going to delete half of the nodes that I just made to try and get more of a sort of consistent pattern happening. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's go with the 2-bar pattern. And what we see by making that sort of, well, by taking away those extra nodes, what we've done is actually we've created more familiarity with the ear. Because right now the nodes are very much randomly assigned, there's no sort of real motive running through it. So by having those 2 bars there, you can hear how there's now more of a solid motive for your ear to latch onto. Alright, we also see an interesting bug where all of these nodes have decided to stay highlighted. I have no idea why. I'll have to log that and look into it later. But let's try and find a different sound for this, so to go with that driving sentiment that we're trying to get. Something like this. Alright, it's a little bit nasal, so I'm just going to try a few other sounds, see what happens. Alright, so there we go, we have a sort of a sound, a motive, a refrain going. I'm going to try and add some second tracks to it, but I have a feeling bugs might strike us here. We'll see what we can do. Okay, so this is a drum track. Let's just set it up so that we've got a nice sort of kick snare happening. Alright, then we get some hi-hats happening in here. Alright, I'm just going to try to fill that out a little bit. For this I'm going to try to find a sound that is a bit less present, because that other one's already taking up a lot of room. It's very bright, clear, present. So I'm just going to create something and see what happens. Let's get these to be nodes, and that needs to be a start node. Let's make this 2 bars as well. Okay, so what we're saying now is kind of the limits of the current system, where you've got these sort of like very up-tempo, fast things happening, and what that means is that it's creating a lot of noise in the track. It's taking a lot of space. It's not really fitting together well in the arrangement. So what I'd really love to do here is take the second track and actually make it a lot slower. So you have that first track, you know, it's going and then the second track would be sort of nice drawn out pads, and that would create a nice accent that would contrast very well with the first track. But right now, until we get the new node editor, the new grid editor that I keep on talking about, that's not really going to be possible. So I'm going to kind of leave it here for now and call that a loop a day. Thanks a lot for watching. Tune in again tomorrow.